and I'm a pastor of Liberty Bible Church and a PhD candidate, and I oppose SB 1271. Children are the hope and strength of a nation, and it is too late to correct them when they become corrupted. It is infinitely better to prevent the evil than to punish it. It is not laws and ordinances, but good morals that regulate the state. Those who have had a bad education make no scruple to violate the best constitutions in the world, whereas they who have been properly trained up cheerfully conform to all good institutions. That was stated by Jeremy Belknap, a pastor from New Hampshire. Interestingly, this statement was not said in a church. It was preached before the state legislature during an election sermon in 1785. Believe it or not, in our state's history, from 1674 to 1830, pastors would come before the state legislature charging them with their duty to promote godly character and virtue. Unfortunately, this tradition has thus ceased. However, the wisdom of this tradition should be wholeheartedly heeded. What advantage is it to our children for them to have access to pornographic and LGBT literature that promotes unnatural lifestyles? What message does it send to our children when materials that promote debauchery are openly accessible? As lawmakers, have you considered the emotional, physical, spiritual damage you can do to a child while protecting such literature in publicly funded school libraries? And frankly, what I have heard today from Senator Duff, when the question is being posed by Representative Dauphiny about making that amendment, and no one can answer the question outright saying, yes, we should put it in the bill. That is absolutely absurd coming from lawmakers. How could you not want to put that specific amendment in the actual bill? Are you for pornographic material in libraries? Because it's there. I went on the website for the one high school, and this right here, this book is in Conrad High School. Let's talk about it. The Teen's Guide to Sex, Relationships, and Being a Human, which depicts graphic sexual activity. I don't understand for the life of me
Can you please summarize?
how you can think, everybody here, regardless you're Republican or Democrat, that's acceptable. It's interesting because even under Connecticut state general statutes, material which is obscene to minors depicting a prohibited sexual act taken as a whole is harmful to minors carries a felony offense. So here we are having this material in libraries, and we have no problem with it. Even though we say it's not there. Either you're being intellectually dishonest or you're just lying, because it is there. So with that being said, consider this. You will be held accountable for every child who reads one of these perverse books, and it is thus encouraged to participate in such behavior. That being said, please rescind SB 1271 for the sake of our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Dauphine.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you so much, Rashad, for your testimony. I don't think I need to repeat to you what I've asked to be amended on this bill. I think you just highlighted that. My question is, can you speak a little bit more to how, many of the testimony has come and said that this is all about parental rights, but honestly, it seems to me like it's all against parental rights, right? A parent that has a child that attends a school that they have books available to them that may go against their very core beliefs, and they have the opportunity to get exposed to those beliefs or pictures or whatever it is. Can you speak to the violation of parental rights and choice with regard to that?
Yes, I think it is an issue of parental rights when the states overstepping their bounds and overreaching. But I think it's even more fundamental to that. I think it's basic common sense. I don't think I would hope there's not people wanting to have their children having access to pornographic material. That is just basic common sense as a parent. We all know what damage it can do, and it can begin to have an addictive element, and that can derail kids at a very early age. It's not really an issue of law per se. If you want to start talking about the moral law, it's even more so touching on that as opposed to civil law. Because all of us know as being grown adults, this is not right. And then on top of that, if parents protest against it, they could be sued because they're causing distress. What about the distress we're putting on our kids who access the material? This to me is so upside down and makes zero sense. And as being lawmakers, the people who we elect, we deserve better.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know if you heard the good doctor earlier who spoke with regard to she's going to provide the data, but with children that are exposed to this pornographic, sexually illicit pictures and photographs that lead them down the path of sexual abuse and the like. I guess what I wanted to ask you with regard to our laws in this state, we prohibit minor children to have the ability to buy Playboy, Hustler, and the like. But now we're opening up the school public libraries to much of what these photographs are probably very similar. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, frankly, it's outright foolishness. My thing is this. Like I said, I have this right here. I printed out right from the high school website. How about you representatives go to that high school, get the book off the shelf and say, you know what, we're not going to have it here. End the discussion. Why can't you do that? It's pornographic. You can see it, you can access it online. So either, like I said a second ago, you're being intellectually dishonest or you're flat out lying. Period. I don't understand how this is even an issue. Like, who would want their young kid accessing pornography? And I hear all the talk about the librarians saying, oh, they're not going to allow kids to get that. A kid can walk down an aisle, get the book off the shelf, sit down and just read it. They don't have to check the book out. It's
Right.
no, just read it.
Right.
That's it. I just don't, the political games is just sickening. It is absolutely sickening that we're playing this game with our kids. Please wake up.
Thank you, Rashad. And I guess I am not allowed any more questions, but I'll just make a comment. Perhaps I should be asking legislators to define what I'm saying, and I'm proposing to amend this bill with what they see as pornographic, because I don't see any difference. So I guess you need to tell me what's pornographic and what's the difference between what I'm suggesting we amend this bill with, right? Pornography, sexual explicit conduct, touching a person's clothed or unclothed genitals, pubic area, buttocks. If such a person is a female, their breast, a nude performance, a person in a state of sexual excitement or masturbation. Tell me the difference, because let's be clear. If we can't amend it with this language, then what is the difference between this language and pornography? I know I'm not allowed to ask you a question, but I'll just end there. Thank you so much for your testimony.
Thank you.
Yes.
Seeing no further questions, you are all set. Nellie Oliver.